Should I sell my house in 2022? Yes, sell it immediately. We have lots of buyers that need homes immediately. Okay, in all seriousness, I mean, that actually was serious. There's so many buyers right now, it's crazy. Here's the thing to consider if you're thinking of selling. So sometimes people are like, well, I want to sell, but I don't know if anyone will buy my house. Guys, this is the year. This is the year. I have this lovely couple and they were so scared last year. They're like, well, we don't know, we're going to have to qualify with both houses because we don't think we're going to get a buyer for our house. It needs a lot of work. They just met with a local agent who was like, oh, this is easy. I can sell this in a day. And she was talking to them about it being, $30K more than what they thought. So if you've been considering selling, but you've been saying, oh, I need to, what do we hear a lot of? Oh, the back door doesn't work right. I got to repair that before I talk to a real estate agent. I got to get that lawn seeded right. No one's going to want it with this lawn. Guys, this is the year, okay? Here's the thing. A lot of times as a seller, you want everything to be perfect, and you can do a lot of negative self-talk to yourself, just as buyers do. We all do it. We're human, right? But a lot of the stuff that you think matters doesn't. Sometimes I was talking to a real estate agent this morning and he was telling me how the seller was thinking that they needed to replace the floors. The floors are nice. The seller's just like, well, I'm sure someone would want wood because people don't like carpet. The seller's in an incredibly hot market. There is 0 point to them putting in wood. There is a buyer who will buy that house in a day with carpet, and that's the market we're in right now. So here's the thing to think about if you're even considering selling. Do you like your house? That's a big question. There's a lot of people living in houses that they hate. They may hate their neighbors. They may hate, the sound of something 2 doors down. There might be a dog. There could be so many reasons. Maybe they're in a CC&R where if your trash can is 1/4 of an inch the wrong way, you get a notice. Oh gosh, let me think of other annoying things. Oh, or you have a neighbor that's constantly like, oh, your water's on our property, and you're like, we're on a hill, right? There's so many things that can happen that make you want to sell your house. Maybe your family has grown and you want more room. Maybe you're in an apartment and you want the kids to go outside. Maybe your dog wants to go outside. Maybe you want to go outside. Or maybe you're on a property with 3 acres and you're sick of being outside and all you want to do is go to a condo and relax and have someone else deal with all that, okay? Or, this is my favorite, I see so many of these right now and I love these adventures. I feel like I'm part of it. Maybe you want to switch states, right? We're seeing so much state switching because with remote work, all of a sudden the whole nation is an option, right? And maybe you've been toying with that. Maybe you're about to retire and you're like, God, I hate these winters. I would love to go down south. I don't know how. Okay, that's what I'm for. I'm the mortgage lender that can help you figure out the financing of how. It's the real estate agents that can put in the other portion of the how, and I see it happen every day. So, with the state swapping, if you're like, it sounds too big of an idea, right? Because it is a big idea. The concept of just moving states and working remote, all of that is so radical if you look at where real estate was a couple years ago. But now it's a possibility. So if you live in XYZ state, I'm not going to name any states because I don't want anyone thinking I'm knocking them, because every state has something magical about it. If you guys think there's a state with nothing magical, feel free to list it and we'll all argue with you. But if you're like, I'm so sick of it here and I really want to go to here, why are you there? Seriously. And that's the thing with a lot of this is I think that we all get in patterns where we feel like, well, this is my house. Like, why would I move? It's such an effort, right? And I know I'm going to be going through that in just a couple months because my son's going to be going to college. We don't know where yet. I've got my fingers crossed on a couple, but we don't know where yet. And then it's a big question of, well, do I really need a house this big? And is this really where in the country I want to be? Because I was here for my son's school, and a lot of people are going through that. So here's the thing. If you've been considering selling your house, I would talk to a real estate agent about what you could even get, okay? Now, if you're like, I don't know if I'll even qualify to buy a new house, what's it even like to buy a new house? I'm thinking about the state, but I don't know what that's gonna cost. Call me. okay? We do so much of this that I can walk you through it in a heartbeat. And the bottom line is we need more inventory. Now, the last big concern people have if they're thinking of selling is they go, oh, well, if I sell, I'll never be able to afford anything else. Not necessarily true. It depends on if you're sticking in the same town. Sometimes if you sell in one price point, it could be very competitive. The next price point up may be less competitive. Okay, we've seen a lot of people who have sold in California and bought in other states where it's less expensive. We've seen people who are in other states and their houses have grown up so much that they're able to get to the next level in their town. So there's a lot to keep in mind. Just because one price point is very competitive doesn't mean all price points in that area are competitive. There's usually cliffs in certain towns. And this is something a local real estate agent can talk to you about. And I can talk to you guys about the finance part of like, okay, are you increasing what you spend? Are you downsizing? You know, what's the goal? But right now, if you hate your house, get out. Seriously, sell it. It's the lowest inventory we've ever seen. There's so many great buyers that will love that house. If you don't love that house, let it go. Let it be free and find somewhere that when you walk through the door, you feel happy. When you go outside, you're where you want to be. Okay? So I hope this video was helpful. You know, everything's changed in the world in the last 2 years as we've seen, and there's so many more opportunities now. So keep your mind open to all the opportunities and just understand there are tons of people who probably want to buy your house. So talk to a top local real estate agent. One more note on that. Okay. If I'm ever looking to sell my house, I am looking for the agent that does the most sales with the most beautiful marketing. And the reason is you want to make sure your house is marketed properly. So keep that in mind. Look for the marketing, the houses where you look at it online and you're like, I want to live there. That's the real estate agent to select. So questions, comments, as always, reach out. But yeah, there's a lot of buyers out there, guys. If you're living in a state you don't want to and you qualify to move to another state, now's the time. Seize the moment. Thanks for watching.